Yeah, so the three most important key points I took away from compelling and confident communication, knowing audience by Matt Abraham was one. Your first impression is what happens in the first 37 seconds of your video. Two, tell the time first, then build the clock. And three, know your audience really well. So going back to your first impression, it's so important to win your audience over in those first 30 seconds, but it's crazy because that's when we're most nervous during the whole speech. And so, in my opinion, that is the most important part. Being able to establish confidence, composure, and just a sense of respect from the audience, putting the audience in your corner, and so they're on your team, is super important for getting their attention for the rest of whatever you have to say. That's when you can either give the audience a chance to be all in or all out, and so the rest could be a waste. Two, tell the time, then build the clock is so important. For example, if you're telling the audience all these things and you don't give them a glimpse of what you're talking about, they have nothing to think about, and so they can fill their imagination with these thoughts, but that's what they're going to use their headspace toward instead of listening what you have to say. Therefore, you need to give them your expectations clearly and effectively first, then expand more on these expectations so they can be more aware of what the end game looks like, what they're expected to know. And so I think that's super important. And three, know your audience. Know who your audience is, whether they're old or young, how much you think they know or not. Know what they expect. I think that's super important because if you don't meet the expectations of the audience, they're not going to take you seriously at all. And so your credibility is going to be ruined. And then what are the areas of concern? Something that really came in that was really important to me in there is when Matt Abraham said that a ton of people that listen to like pitches, like listen to entrepreneurs, they've heard many pitches. And so to these entrepreneurs, their pitch sounds perfect. But to the people that have heard pitches over and over again, there's still areas to improve, or they know what's best and what doesn't work. And so just being really aware of your audience is so important. So addressing their areas of concern, their expectations, and what they know, and just who they are. You have to be personable to gain respect. And so your first impression, letting your audience know the expectations, then expanding upon those expectations. And three, just know your audience in general. Make them feel included and make them feel like you care about them. Use words like you. Just really be personable. And I think those are the three most important points that stood out to me during this video.